Hey guys, I'm gonna try to remain calm during this video, but I'm really freaking out. And this morning I woke up and I went to turn on my computer, open my laptop, and the screen had been unscrewed. The frame of the laptop screen had been unscrewed, and the and the plastic frame that was on top of that snaps into the laptop screen. There's multiple layers. Okay, there's the plastic frame that goes around your screen and that snaps off, and underneath that there's a metal frame that screws in. Somebody unscrewed the metal frame of my laptop overnight. Or it could have been yesterday while I was gone, because when I got home yesterday, I don't know why I didn't notice it until this morning, though. I used my laptop last night and nothing happened. It wasn't until this morning that as soon as I opened my laptop this morning, it like broke apart. The hinge, the little plastic piece that goes over the hinge popped off when I opened it. And then I was like, why did that happen? And then I tried to shut it and it wouldn't shut. And then I looked, and the screws were completely unscrewed underneath the plastic piece that snaps in. The plastic piece was like off on one corner, and underneath that there are two screws there, and both of them were unscrewed completely, and the frame was separated. And there's no way that can happen by accident, you guys. But not only that, and that happened this morning. I didn't notice it yesterday. If the screws were loose in my laptop frame yesterday, I didn't notice it. And if they were completely unscrewed, don't you think I would have noticed? I don't know. But I didn't notice it until this morning. And the only way those can be loose is if somebody loosens them. You have to loosen them with a screwdriver. And the other thing that's really freaking me out right now is that yesterday I went to the grocery store, and I got home yesterday, and I came up to my bedroom, and my bedroom door handle was loosened. I noticed that last night because I have a special lock that I put on my door when me and my son sleeps in my room. You better believe my son sleeps in my room. And I have a special lock that I put on that door when we go to sleep at night. And when I got home yesterday, or when I think I didn't notice it until last night when we were getting ready to go to bed, and I went to put the lock on the door, and it's one of those portable lock things, and I went to put it on my bedroom door, and I noticed that the door handle on my bedroom was loosened. The only way you can loosen the handle on a door is by unscrewing it from the inside of my bedroom. And I noticed that yesterday when I came home. And I deal with my door handle every single night. I put that lock on every single night, so I know that door handle, and it wasn't like that before yesterday. It happened yesterday when I was at the store. And then last night I also had, I think it was last night, I'm not sure, but I had a dream. I had a dream that I saw someone popping off the screen on my laptop screen. Like there's these little things that snap in, and you have to you have to pull it off, and it pops off. The little it snaps on, and then it snaps off. And I had a dream that I saw a girl doing that. I didn't know who she was, but I don't trust my dreams. I mean, I told you guys, I mean, you guys know that some of my dreams come true. That doesn't change the fact that I don't trust them, because I know they can send me dreams, because I've had like that one dream that I had where they'll well, first of all, I know that they can send me dreams because it started when I was in Brooklyn, right after I quit that high profile job in New York. Right after and I say high profile because they dealt with celebrities. I was in the entertainment industry for a long time. It's not weird that I got the job. What's weird is that they were doing really weird stuff to me while I was there. Like, they were persecuting me, but I don't want to get into that right now. I just want to say that it was right after I quit that job that the hardcore attacks happened, like the electrocution in my bed and the yelling, waking me up at all hours of the night. I started using the shelter right after I quit that job because of the severe attacks. And my point is that, my point in bringing that up is that right around that same time was also when they would, at the same time that they were like electrocuting me, they would send me a dream. So I knew I made the correlation between the electromagnetic attacks, what I later realized was electromagnetic attacks. I guess. I mean, I don't really know. I just know that, like, once I started using the shelter, like when I first put a piece of cardboard with aluminum on it over the top of me, when I first did that, it sounded like somebody was pouring sand on the top of it. So I know that it seems like they were using a microwave weapon, although I don't really know what they were using because I'm not the one using the weapon. So I don't really know. But I know that aluminum blocks it, and I know that aluminized thermal blankets block it. Well, anyway, the point is, right around when that stuff, really hardcore attacks at night started, was at the same time that they would send me dreams that matched the attack. So, for example, they would send me an image of somebody cutting my head off, and then they'd, like, zap my neck at the same time. And then my son would cry at the same time that I would wake up, even though I wasn't making any noise when I would wake up. And sometimes he'd cry before I woke up. So they were doing something to him, and they were doing something to me at the same time. And then the other thing was that one time I had a dream that they sent to me a picture of something in my dream. It was a really horrible picture. And then when I woke up, I could still see the imprint on my eyelids, like it was like a light, like a negative. So I thought that they must have been beaming some type of light mechanism into my eyes and causing me to see something while I was sleeping. Because, I mean, you know, I know what it's like when you stare into a light bulb and then you shut your eyes and you can still see the light bulb, the negative of the light bulb. So when I saw the negative imprint of that image from my dream, I thought, well, they must have been beaming some type of light thing into my eyes to cause me to see that in my dream. So I don't trust my dreams. Even though I know that some of them come true. So like when I have a dream that says that China, for example, that China is going to have a blackout, I think that was one of my dreams that I had last month or something. I mean, I'll post it for you guys, but I don't know where their dreams are coming from. The visions, that's different. The visions are different. That's while I'm awake. And it's something that I see with my mind's eye. But when I'm unconscious, when I'm sleeping, I don't trust that. I don't trust those dreams. And I've been hearing other people, a lot of people get on YouTube and saying, oh, when I woke up, there'll be people that get on YouTube every day. It seems like I hear somebody saying that they heard a voice say something to them as they were waking up. And I'm telling you, that's microwave hearing. I know, because when they were attacking me in New York, right after I quit that job, that's what they would do, is yell in my head right before I woke up, or say something in my head right as I was waking up. And the aluminum and the aluminized thermal blankets block that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to yell or anything like that. I don't know. I feel like people don't listen to me. That's what I feel like. I feel like people don't listen to me. And I've been saying this for a year now, and I still hear people talking about how they heard a voice as they were waking up, and they think that they assume that they're hearing the voice of God. And I'm not just talking about religious people. I'm talking about smart people. Smart people, average people who don't even talk about God, who will talk about, oh, they heard something as they were waking up, therefore it must be divine. It must be divine information. And I'm here to tell you, it is not divine. It is microwave hearing, and somebody is controlling you and influencing you with a weapon. That's what it is. Why does aluminized thermal blankets, why do they block it? Because I can tell you right now that I've been attacked. I was severely attacked. They were attacking me and my baby with some type of devices where they were yelling in my head. And as soon as I covered myself with aluminum, a cardboard box flattened out with heavy-duty aluminum foil taped onto the outside of it, as soon as I covered myself with that, not only could I hear what sounded like sand being poured on the top of it, but, they got real mad when I did that, it seemed like, because that was, I only heard that sand one time, and then after that I never heard that sound anymore, except that for little popping noises. But the first time I used it, it sounded like they were pouring sand on the top of it, and then the sounds went away. As soon as I created a sealed sleeping environment, meaning on all sides, you get these aluminized thermal blankets on all sides, underneath you, on the side of you, and on top of you, and don't leave any gaps or any holes anywhere. And you shelter yourself inside an aluminized cocoon, and you will not hear people talking to you as you wake up in the morning. Now, why is that? Is that because God can't penetrate aluminized thermal blankets? No. It's because it's a microwave weapon that's being used to influence the way you think and to influence what you do. And I think that, I think the majority of people don't know they're being influenced while they're sleeping at night. Most people just don't even know they're being influenced. And I just wanted to say one other thing. The only thing that really, there's another thing that happened this week. Let's just get off that subject for a second. My son ended up with another needle mark in his ear. And this has happened at least once, because I just remember looking at the picture of it, because I take a picture of it every time it happens. It's happened at least one other time, but I think it's happened 2 other times, because I think it happened in the last state that I lived in, and I think it also happened in Brooklyn. I know when we were living in Brooklyn, he woke up one time with a bloody nose like I have never seen on anyone in my entire life. he woke up with this blood all over, smeared all over his face and dried in his nose. And then he started getting these needle marks in his ear. When I say needle marks, I'm talking about I'll just see his ear one day, and this has happened, like I said, I think it's happened 3 times, but I know for sure 2 times. It happened this week, and it happened when I was living in the other state, like last year sometime. And I remember that because I remember trying to take pictures of it, and that was the most recent last time that it happened. That's hard to take pictures of his ear because he moves around a lot. He's young. My son's like 2 years old, okay? What it is I noticed this red dot in his ear. And this last week I noticed 2 red dots. One of them was it looked like a needle mark. It looked like a red needle mark, okay? And then there was a slightly longer mark right next to it. Like one of them was a dot, and the other one was like a dash. Okay, like if you were looking at a dot and a dash, you know what I mean, like a little tiny line. And the reason that I think it was blood, like from a needle mark, is because when I scratched it, when I tried to rub it off, it wouldn't come off, and I had to like really scratch it, like with my nail, in order to get it off. I scratched it with my nail, and then it came off, but I couldn't just rub it off. So it was, in my opinion, it was a needle mark, and the reason that I say that is because I've had needle marks. I had needle marks in the past. I can't think of when it was recently, but I'm thinking of years and years ago. I used to get these needle marks in the roof of my mouth. I got these. I knew they were needle marks because I looked at them, and it was just like this dot, and it was really, really sore, and I could tell by how it felt, because you guys know what it's like to have your blood drawn. You know what it feels like after you have your blood drawn, right? Most people know what that feels like. Most people have had shots when they were a child. You know what it feels like. And you know how it feels after that, okay? And that's why I'm telling you that years ago when I would see these little dots, it would be accompanied with a soreness that was the exact same soreness you have from a needle mark. And I would have them in the roof of my mouth. And one time I had it in my arm, like my vein on my arm, where you would normally have your blood drawn. One time I had a needle mark there, and it was obviously a needle mark. And that was back in like 2000, the year. It was sometime between 2000 and sometime in like 2001 or 2002. It was somewhere around in there that I was getting these needle marks. And one time it was in my arm, and it was really obvious, and it felt exactly like somebody had drawn blood, and it looked exactly like somebody had drawn blood, and I had not had my blood drawn in years. Okay, and then I started getting them on the roof of my mouth, and it was the same thing. It felt like it was really painful, and it felt like somebody had inserted a needle into the roof of my mouth. It was really painful, and it looked like there was a needle there. So when my son has these little dots in his ear that I cannot rub off, and the only way they come off is when I scratch it off, it's like a little dot of blood in his ear, I think it's a needle mark. And he got one last week. And the time that he had it before that was last year when I was living in the other state. And the time before that was when we were living in Brooklyn. And I just want to say one other thing about this, the unscrewing of the laptop. I mean, my first thought, I was terrified this morning when I saw it. I mean, last night when I went and shut to lock my door, my bedroom door, and I noticed that the handle was loose, I started to panic. I was really afraid. And then I was just like, oh, maybe I just didn't notice it. That's kind of what I thought. I just told myself, oh, no, maybe I just didn't notice that before. And so that's what I told myself. But then this morning, when I went to use my laptop and the laptop frame was unscrewed, I really freaked out. And I was like having a panic attack on the inside. And the whole time I was making breakfast, I was having a panic attack on the inside. But then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. A lot of these things that have been happening have had something to do with unscrewing things. Like, for example, when my doorknob was hanging on the front door that time. And that's actually happened twice. I don't think I told you about the second time. The second time it wasn't as bad. The first time it was really obvious, and the second time it wasn't quite as bad, but it did happen twice on my front door where the doorknob was hanging there. The doorknob and the deadbolt were hanging there, unscrewed, totally unscrewed. The only way you can unscrew it is from the inside. You cannot pull it loose. Okay, these are screws that you have to unscrew with a screwdriver from the inside. Okay, then it happened with one of my pots, one of my cooking pots. Like I woke up in the morning, I took my pot out of the dishwasher, and it was unscrewed. And I'm here to tell you that has never happened before in my life. Okay? And it's never happened since then. The only way you can do that is by unscrewing it with a screwdriver. Okay? So there was that time. I didn't tell you guys about that because I was just like, I'm just not going to say that. But now they unscrewed my bedroom door handle and my laptop frame in the same period of time. So what I'm thinking is, maybe it could be, because you guys know I changed the deadbolt on my door, and nobody has the key to it. And I have another lock that I put on my door, too. I have 3 locks on my door. One of them doesn't require a key. It's just from the inside. And whenever I'm home. And the deadbolt, nobody has a key to. So, how is if somebody's getting into my house, how the hell are they getting in here? But the only thing that provides me any comfort right now is the idea that they're doing this stuff remotely, meaning they're not actually coming into my house. They're able to unscrew things without coming into your house, meaning they have some type of device that, I don't know. I mean, if it's electromagnetic, maybe it's some type of magnet, and maybe that's how they're able to unscrew metal screws. You know what I mean? Like they have some type of remote device that is like a screwdriver. I don't know. But that thought occurs to me, and that gives me a little bit of comfort, because then I think, well, wait, maybe they weren't actually in here. But how the hell my son has a needle mark in his ear, I don't know. That really freaks me out. And the dream that I had about the girl popping off my laptop frame, the dream that I had about that could have just been them sending me that dream in hopes that I'll freak out thinking that somebody was in my house last night. Like they want me to panic. They want me to be afraid. It's this. Sometimes, you guys, I think this is the real war on terror. Because these people are terrorizing me. They're terrorizing me, and they were terrorizing my son until I started protecting him. But there are a lot of people out there that don't know how to protect their family, because they don't even realize what's happening. They just think their children are having nightmares. They don't realize that somebody is attacking them with a weapon. I mean, what do you care more about? You care more about protecting your child, or do you care more about looking a little bit weird for using aluminized thermal blankets? What's more important to you? Because I can tell you what's important to me. The most important thing to me in this world is protecting my child, and I don't give a goddamn fuck what anybody thinks about it. I'm sorry for the language, you guys. Please forgive me. I don't care what anybody thinks about what I'm saying to you guys. I'm telling you guys this stuff because you need to know. You need to know that this stuff is real. This stuff is happening to people. And maybe, maybe you can learn how to protect yourself, protect your family. Because I know that there's a lot of children out there having nightmares and the parents don't understand what's happening with them. They can send you nightmares, and they can literally torture you physically while you're sleeping at night with these weapons. They were torturing me physically, electrocuting me, stimulating my genitals. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. I didn't want to tell you guys that before. But they will sexually assault you with these weapons. And the thing that really freaked me out was that the idea that they could do that to my baby. That's what really freaked me out, you guys. That they were sexually assaulting me. They would say these horrible things into my head at night, and they would stimulate my genitals, and they would send me horrible, disgusting images all at the same time. And I'd wake up terrorized. And I can't even express to you what it feels like to be sexually assaulted and shown vile, disgusting images. And then having your child wake up a few seconds later screaming and crying. So you want to attack me for protecting my family with aluminized thermal blankets that I know work? My son doesn't wake up crying anymore. I don't have people yelling in my head. I don't have people sexually assaulting me anymore at night. And you want to get pissed off and make fun of me for protecting myself and protecting my family? You're a piece of shit if you do that. I mean, you're worse than a piece of shit if you make fun of an infant that's being attacked with microwave weapons. I don't give a fuck what you believe. You don't know what's going on. And anybody who laughs about a baby being attacked, anybody who laughs about anyone being attacked, I suspect they were using these microwave weapons on me when I was a toddler. I don't care what anybody thinks, in case you haven't noticed that yet. I'm telling you guys the truth.